everyone. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to talk about what I'm not picking up, what I am not buying in 2025, or at least my goal is not to buy in 2025. I will have my usual will I buy it video where I talk about all the new releases and things that I'm interested in, sharing all that with you so you can decide what money to put aside for what types of items. But I wanted to do a anti-buying, if you will, list for all of you, because I feel like a lot of us, get into these cycles where we see all the new releases, we talk about, all the things that we're going to pick up, and sometimes it can snowball a tad, and social media is really good at that. Social media is really good at promoting, buying, and it's always nice to take a little step back and reassess what you might need and really what you want and where the middle ground might be. So we're going to talk about 5 things this year that I absolutely am not going to buy. I'm going to try not to put any exceptions on these. We'll see how this goes. So the number one thing is going to sound funny. Clip-on earrings. So if you have followed me for a while, you know I love vintage jewelry. And there's a number of different resellers, and I say resellers because, again, it's vintage, so it's pre-owned jewelry that I absolutely love. And back in the day, most of the jewelry was made with clip-ons. And a lot of the Chanel jewelry that I love, a lot of the old vintage jewelry, paste jewelry, designers like Jafari and Monet, they're clip-ons. And I have a ton of old vintage costume jewelry that I don't wear because they're clip-ons. And I tend to not wear the clip-ons out because, they kind of hurt your ears after a while. And even if you have a really comfortable ear back, I just tend to wear pierced earrings now. Now, I will also say I did not get my ears pierced until I was 22, 23. Might have been 23. Yeah, I know. And then I just got my second piercing. When did I get my second piercing? October. And now I'm going to get my third. So it has steamrolled from there. So I'm definitely going to be wearing more pierced earrings and not clip-on earrings. So although I love vintage jewelry and I will continue to pick up vintage jewelry, I will not be buying any clip-ons. If it is a clip-on, I'm just not purchasing it. The clip-ons that I currently have, I'm going to try to find a jeweler that can convert ones that are convertible into pierced. And just 2 cautions for everyone out there if there's somebody who also collects vintage jewelry. If you buy a pair of, let's say Chanel vintage big Chanel No. 5 earrings or something, there's a pair that are very famous that are worth, they usually go for like $3,000. I know. They are gold plated, but still. Yes, it gets very expensive. They are clip-ons and they're beautiful earrings, but you really can't convert those into pierced. Well, you could, but they're very heavy and they would drag your ear down and they would drag the hole down, which you probably don't want to do to yourself. And 2, the minute you change them into pierced, they lose their value. Not all their value, but they're no longer original. They have been changed in some way. Same with purses that have been retouched or repainted or anything like that. They're no longer worth the original value of the piece. So if you buy those types of pieces and then convert them to pierced earrings from clip-on earrings, you change the value of the piece. I am not reselling any of my jewelry. I'm not planning on getting rid of it. So the pieces that I have that aren't super heavy, I'm going to change to pierced. There are some Chanel earrings that I have that are big earrings that, yeah, you wouldn't want to change those to, pierced. My hole would be like this big. So no more clip-on earrings for me, no matter what the piece is, no matter what the great price is, not doing it. Next is fast fashion. And what do I mean by that? I have a bunch of things from H&M and other types of, fast fashion designers that I've bought over the years that I was looking for one particular type of design. So something came into fashion and I was like, oh, I'll get that because, I'm only going to wear it once and it's for whatever it is. And that I'm at an age now that I have an extensive collection of clothes. Extensive. Clothes, bags, shoes. For the rest of my life, if I never bought anything again, I would be absolutely fine. And I find that when I do my declutters, and I try to do them every year, it's always the fast fashion things that I get rid of. I never get rid of my Chanel denim jacket. I never get rid of, now there, as I go on this health journey this year and for hopefully the rest of my life, I might become a different size, and that might, make it that I have to get rid of some things because maybe they won't fit me anymore. That's a different discussion. But in regards to quality, I declutter the things that aren't of excellent quality. And so now I'm just going to wait. And usually the drawback is, right, things are very expensive. And when I did my haul, I talked about things that I picked up that were on sale, but they were still expensive. Like the Lafayette sweaters that I bought were originally $1,000. I got them for $3 something, which is a great deal considering the price point. They were like 60% off, but still it's, they're not inexpensive. So you have to wait, or at least I have to wait to buy them because I can't afford to buy all of that at once. So it means less pieces, it means waiting, and it means sometimes they go out of stock. There was a Max Mara piece that I really wanted that in my size, and a St. John piece, and they're gone. They're just, they went on sale, and then my size is just not there anymore. And so you just have to accept you might not get things. But I would rather do that than go through my closet every year and realize all the things that I didn't wear are really things that I didn't need, that weren't of the quality that I wanted them to be. Now, it's very different if you're wearing all of these things and you're, wearing very different outfits all the time and you're throwing in different types of pieces and stuff. That's a different discussion. But I'm not really doing that now because now I'm working from home here for all of you. And of course I'm going out and doing things, but I live in New England. We're not exactly the fashion capital of the world. No offense to Boston, it's my home. Love it here, but let's be real. Let's be honest. And it's cold, and it's like literally. I had a picture of my Dior pullover it's freezing. It is freezing. It's like with the wind chill, it's like -5. I am not particularly concerned with how I look. I just want to be warm. So, I'm getting to the point where I just have to be like more. I've always been a realistic person, but now I have to be like, okay, Jennifer, really? You're going to wear that once. It's not worth it. And you're going to feel better about, your spending if you just wait and save up for the one thing you want. And if you don't get that one thing, you get the next thing next year. So fast fashion is off my list. When it comes to makeup, and specifically like luxury makeup and all that good stuff, I have told all of you that I am really focused on the luxury products that you guys are interested in. So Chanel, Dior, Guerlain, Tom Ford, Chantecaille, Dolce & Gabbana, whatever it is, I'm going to pick up Dior. I'm going to pick up those pieces, and I'm not going to pick up the entirety of every collection. I will pick up the pieces that I think are most interesting. I think they're things that I could at least work with, that I would like for some reason. The Dior collection that came out for spring, I did not pick up the eyeshadows. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel like I missed out on anything great. And going forward, if I hear from all of you that there's something you really want to see, you really want to know about, absolutely, I will try it. But, I'm not going to pick up every brand, and I'm not going to pick up the high-end brands in general unless there's something new and unique to them. It's going to be really focused on the luxury market in beauty, fashion, designer wear, like the shoes, bags, whatever that is. And I will be doing a lot more fashion and bags and those types of things. So if you were at my live with Michelle Wong, hopefully you were able to attend, but if you didn't, I have it up so you can make sure you watch it. And we were talking about bags. I really want to focus my attention there because there's so much on the market. There are so many things that, if you distract yourself by going to too many directions, I don't think you can really give the quality that you need to and the one thing that you are focused on. So it's really going to be a real specific focus on the luxury market across the board. Beauty, fashion, design, all that good stuff. Skincare. I am not buying any more skincare this year. Let me explain why. First of all, the skincare that I use, I have a lot of it because I got backups of things that went out of stock that are discontinued. And then the skincare that I've started to develop using over the last year, a lot of it was sent to me. which is not a surprise because I'm trying it for all of you. And there's things that I've discovered that I absolutely love, which I had not been using before, like a Moravisa, which is not a brand I had used that I'm now like really obsessed with. I use so much from them now. And they've sent me a bunch of stuff because I've said how great it is. But again, it's great because they sent it to me, so I was able to try it, and I absolutely love it. So I don't need to buy any of it. The things that I get sent that I tell you, hey, I absolutely love this, I absolutely love. I'm not going to tell you that I love something just because somebody sent it to me, because then you're going to use it and you'll be like, this is terrible. So, you know, just because someone sends it to me, I promise you, if I don't like it, you won't hear me talk about it. In that vein, I want to mention just really quickly the Remedy brand. Again, this is not sponsored. This is a brand also that sent me things and I had never used them before. I've talked about a Moravisa. I've talked about In Beauty. Remedy, this is the dry lip they sent me a backup of because I've gone through most of my other one. It is one that I would say use at night. It does not taste good if it gets in your mouth. It's kind of goopy, but from somebody who has chronically dry lips, because I breathe through my mouth and my nose, because my nose, it's a long story, sinuses, you don't want to know. But the point is, at night, put it on. I'm telling you, it will help. In the morning, your lips will feel better. It's definitely that kind of product. It's not great for walking around during the day because it's kind of goopy and it gets in your mouth and does not taste good. But it works, so you should try it. And then the Remedy for Aging. This is a healthy aging. I wish I knew. I know there's retinols in here, but there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Look, it's like glycolic acid, niacinamide, ceramides. It's kind of like a ferolic. It's got a whole bunch of things. So you could just use it by itself. And I find that like right here, I have this crepiness, which is really annoying. And this has been helping quite a bit. Now I use it all over my face too. But that's a product that, again, I would not have tried if they hadn't sent it to me. I'm going to be honest, because I wouldn't have seen it in a local store. And you know, I have gotten used to using certain brands and I probably wouldn't have just branched out and tried something. That is why they sent it to me, so I could try it and then tell you my thoughts. I really like those products. I also like the one that's anti-redness, which I don't have up here. I have that in my bathroom, but I will continue to do that. Continue to like tell you about ones that I think are really good. Because there's a lot of good products out there that I don't think get a lot of marketing or a lot of advertising because they're smaller brands or they just, you know, they can't really compete with the bigger brands. That's not to say the bigger brands aren't great. I have a Clé de Peau product which is sitting right in front of me, which I use every single day. Again, it's different products from different brands, but I'm not buying any more skincare because I have so much skincare at this point that literally my sister is like overwhelmed with skincare. I'm overwhelmed with skincare and I can't try, like you need to try things over like a month or two. So I can only try them in blocks. Also, I had my laser treatment and I'm going back to using my newer device. I love my newer device. I love that thing. Seriously, you should, I mean, for Valentine's Day, talk about a great gift. Valentine's Day gift, the newer device. But I have other tools that have been sent to me that I do want to try. But again, you have to do them, you know, separate and apart from the things you're using to see if it works. And in the meantime, you're not using the things that you're used to. I mean, there's like so much because I don't want to tell you something works if it doesn't. So I'm trying to be very methodical about how I do it. When it comes to clothing and fashion, I talked about the fast fashion stuff and I'm not buying that, but I'm not going to be buying like really oversized clothing. Nothing really big and like chunky sweaters and stuff. I went through my closet thinking about doing my declutter. And I have things that are so enormous on me. And I have always been somebody who does not wear really fitted clothing. It's just not me. I'm not a fitted clothing kind of person. But here's the thing. I am 5 feet tall and I've mentioned this before and I'm sure you can see it when I do try on clothes. I'm busty. I have, you know, a large bust and I'm short. So if I wear really oversized things, it does make me look a lot bigger than I am. And I am aware of that. But I'm just not somebody who feels particularly comfortable in a very fitted piece of clothing. And to get something that would be like form-fitting but not tight on me would be very difficult to do because I'm 5 feet tall and busty. When I got married, I had a custom wedding dress. They literally did this, you wear muslin and then they fit the muslin and then they make the dress. And I was really adamant about that because I knew trying on wedding dresses, which I, you know, went to stores and tried them on, they were all horrible on me because the length of the bodice was so much longer on me than anyone else. But if you got, you know, something that was a small petite size, it went like half of me. And I was like, okay, this is not going to work. So to get really clothes that would fit me particularly well because of my shape, I'd have to get custom clothing. And custom clothing is ridiculously expensive. So it's very difficult for me to find clothes that fit. So I just sort of defaulted to wearing things just too big. I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try really hard to just, and I mentioned before about not fast fashion, more, you know, couture, buying fewer pieces that fit me better, and then clothes that I can have tailored, I'm going to have tailored, so that although it won't be a tight fit by any means, it won't be an oversized, voluminous fit. It will be a more fitted piece that fits my height and my shape so that, you know, all my clothes don't look enormous. It's a continuing process and it gets expensive to do, but I feel like it's important to feel comfortable in your clothes and how you look and how you present yourself. And when you're shorter, it is more difficult, unless you are just a petite person. I'm a short person, but I have big shoulders, I have big bust, I was a gymnast, so I'm very muscular, and so, you know, it's a little harder, it's a little trickier. But I know we all have those types of issues, like when we try on clothes, nobody walks into a place and was like, oh yes, this fits me perfectly. I mean, I don't know anyone like that. If you're like that, you're extremely lucky, and good for you. There have definitely been moments I've wished for that. So, you know, take a stock every once in a while of what you're actually wearing and why, because I think, you know, we default for things that fit us well and make us feel good about ourselves. And that, if you can figure out what those things are and buy more of those, which is why I always buy those Lafayette sweaters, because I feel like they fit me well and they work for me and I feel comfortable and confident in them. So even if they are a little bit more expensive, it's like, yeah, that's worth it to me to have those. Last thing I would say is heels. I no longer wear high heels. Now, at being 5 foot tall, it does occur to me very often how short I am when I meet people, because people meet me and they're like, oh my goodness, I thought you were going to be so much taller, which I find funny because I'm like, I always tell everyone that I'm short, but I am short. And just like if you're tall, it's just the way it is. I do notice though, when I meet people, you know, you have to look up all the time because I'm short. So I always wore heels my whole life. I've always worn very high heels because I like being on even ground with people. And in my profession as a lobbyist, as an advocate, as a lawyer, you know, you want to have a position of confidence and power. And over time, to be very frank, I just realized I don't care. I feel like you either take me seriously or you don't, and my height has nothing to do with it. So I'm not wearing shoes that make me uncomfortable. And heels make me uncomfortable because, first of all, they're bad for you. They're bad for your back. They're bad for your feet. And they shove your toes into like a point. Now, when I say heels, I'm talking about, you know, stiletto heels, pointed heels. Square heels, chunky heels, platform heels, I like because I just like the way they look, or they look, you know, nice with a flared pant leg or something. And if you're doing it for like an event, or that's fine. But I'm not wearing any more stiletto any thin heels of any kind, which means that I have to go through my closet and get rid of them. I've gotten rid of a few over the years, but every once in a while I look at pictures and I'm like, oh, those are pretty. And I was like, maybe I'll get those. And then I think to myself, you're never going to wear them because I'm never going to choose those. I'm never going to look at an outfit and go, you know what that needs? A 5-inch stiletto here. This is not going to happen. So I'm going to get rid of those. And then anything that I buy in the future is going to be, you know, a chunky heel, and it's going to be a lower one. Even, you know, the chunky heels that I have that are like 3-4 inches and they're thick, I don't really reach for those as much anymore either. I go with the heels that are 2 inches and shorter because it's a more reasonable height for my foot. I feel more comfortable in it. I like a rounder toe, a wider toe. Every once in a while I'll do almond, like the boots that I got from Chloe recently. Those are more almond shaped. They have a very chunky heel, like very chunky. And I think it's a 3-inch heel. And they're actually pretty comfortable except for the almond toe. But I got those because it was a particular design and I was like, okay, I have nothing like them and I'll wear them for a particular thing. And the price point was really good. But I'm not going to even do that anymore. If the shoe isn't super comfortable and I couldn't wear it literally walking through the streets of Boston, I don't need it. Because for the event where I get in the cab go to the event, sit at a chair, go back in the cab. I have those shoes. I have like 2 pairs. That's all I'm ever going to need because there's going to be very few of those and I'll be fine. No more heels. No more heels in my future. Just not going to do it because I fall down and my feet hurt. So no. And last but not least, when it comes to purses, I am not going to buy any more bags that aren't structured. I have 2 Chanel bags that I'm going to make sure are up for sale. One is already up for sale, but I'm going to put the other one up for sale. They are both denim bags and they are both like tote bags and they're both soft. I am not going to wear these. I am not going to use them. I am never going to buy another tote bag ever again because I never, ever use them. I always want to be that tote bag girl. I always want to be the one who has like a hobo bag or slouchy bag. And I'm not going to use it. Like the Speedy 30 that I got, which I absolutely love. I love so much that I've just been staring at it. Like I'm afraid to take it out of a box, which is ridiculous. I know I need to, but it's really snowy and there's like chemicals all over everything and I'm afraid to ruin it. But anyway, that's another point. I'm getting a organizer to make it stiffer on the inside so that it's not as slouchy. I don't like slouchy bags. I don't know why I buy totes and I don't know why I buy hobo bags. I'm not buying any more of them. So all the ones that I have, I'm getting rid of. I think I only have the 2 Chanels, maybe one other one, and that's it. So I've sold the others and I'm just not doing it again. If it is not a structured bag, I'm not buying it. I like structured bags. I am a structured person. That is who I think this all goes to like just getting to a point where you know who you are and you're okay with it. And you're like, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I like. And that's that. And no matter what's in style, if it's Chloe, I think Chloe's going to be a big brand for 2025. And I get that. I actually like Chloe designs. I'm not going to be a hobo bag girl. It's never going to happen for me. I'm not going to be a slouchy bag person. I can't do it. It's just not who I am. And so when, you go back and watch the bag video that Michelle and I did, you'll see all my bags are structured. Every single one of them. So I think that is it for today. I'd love to hear what you guys aren't buying for 2025. What's off your list? Is it luxury beauty? Is it luxury fashion? I've heard luxury is dead. Everyone keeps telling me luxury is dead, yet all the luxury items keep selling out. So there's a disconnect somewhere. I know there's definitely a disconnect with the brands because their prices are getting out of control. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.